To upgrade or not to upgrade? That is the question. On one end, we have the most powerful Samsung Galaxy of 2019, and on the other, we have its direct predecessor. With all the heavy discounts you can find right now, it is a good question. Should you keep what you have or upgrade to the new? I'm Jaime Rivera with Pocket Now, and this is Galaxy S10 Plus versus Galaxy S9 Plus, brought to you by Dbrand. I've spent the last 4 years comparing old Galaxies to new ones and being like, meh, it's not really worth an upgrade, but I think that Samsung noticed that. They noticed that the Galaxy S9 didn't really sell well, so for this year, things have changed dramatically. At a glance, I find the Galaxy S10 to look more like the Note 9 than anything, with sharper corners and the horizontal arrangement of the cameras. The S9 Plus is actually 1mm taller, nearly a millimeter thicker, and get this, 14 grams heavier. Yes, 14. The S10 Plus is just a millimeter thicker, and that's about it. So imagine the smaller and lighter footprint of the new Galaxy and match it with a larger 6.4-inch display versus 6.2. This is also a new dynamic AMOLED with even more natural color reproduction, a smarter approach to avoid blue light, and HDR10 Plus support. The only win of the Galaxy S9 Plus is that it's more symmetrical in its approach, with the bezels at the top and the bottom. But this whole trend of fun wallpapers for the S10 Plus has made me really fond of the hole punch, believe it or not.
Really shows me that the OEMs can...
The S10 Plus also has louder speakers. I don't have a scientific number to prove that, but I love its quality and depth when compared to the S9.
Definitely added features that I didn't even know I wanted.
Internally, the Galaxy S10 Plus wins with a more powerful and efficient Qualcomm Snapdragon 855 versus the 845. More RAM, double the starting storage, a 15% larger battery, reversible Qi wireless charging, a better Gorilla Glass, faster LTE, and yeah, you get the picture. It's not just the newer phone, but it also includes a lot more in the package. Now, when you jump into software, the differences die down. Both devices run on One UI on top of Android 9 Pie, and they're pretty much the same. This is one of those cases where it seems that Samsung didn't shortchange last year's model on features, and that's fair given how long the phone took to get the update. Some people complain about the size of the icons, but I found it really easy to reduce their size and pretty much mimic the way things looked before. Full screen gestures work on both, and I love how flexible Samsung is being about it. Like, seriously, I've got nothing to complain about here. Navigation feels fluid. You can switch off Bixby Home to make it even more fluid, and no worries, you can remap the Bixby key on both devices just as well. I do wish we didn't have all the extra applications that Samsung has over Google's on both, but at least you get the variety, or you can disable whichever apps you don't want. The Galaxy S10 Plus is also proven to be better when it comes to battery life. Not by a significant margin, you can end the day with both, with the S9 Plus in fumes, while the S10 Plus will have 20 to 30% more depending on your use. One thing that I will tell you that I missed from last year's model is the fingerprint scanner. I consider it to be a little more reliable, and I also missed the iris scanner. Even if it wasn't great, at least I knew that I could rely on a more secure way to unlock my phone, whereas in the case of the S10 Plus, that's not necessarily what you get. The camera conversation is where things take an interesting twist. See, technically both the primary and the telephoto camera on these devices is the same, at least in specifications. Where things change in the S10 Plus is having an added wide-angle camera and a better selfie camera in addition to a depth sensor. The resulting photos during the day look very similar. I do notice scene optimization on the S10 to do a better job in certain scenarios, but the improvements aren't really what I would call significant. Where the S10 just beats the pants off the S9 Plus is in the versatility of the wide angle. You can get such epic photography from it. This wide angle also allows for better portrait photos. You don't have to step back to get the shot on the S10 as opposed to the crop on the S9 Plus. And then in selfie photos, given the added megapixels on the depth sensor on the S10 Plus, you will notice better results than the S9, even if dynamic range seems to be good on both devices regardless. Now, the wide-angle camera also plays a major role in video, with the S10 providing super steady movement at a wider crop than the S9 Plus, and also file sizes are now more efficient with its support of HEVC. I'm also going to praise selfie video on the S10 Plus given the wider crop, and also 4K video finally being supported. And before we reach our conclusion, let me tell you about today's sponsor, Dbrand. If you want to avoid those fingerprint smudges and pimp out your new Galaxy S10 Plus or last year's Galaxy S9 Plus, Dbrand's new Swarm skin is fantastic. And of course, that's just one of many options they have available to cater to your taste. Follow the link in the description below to choose the skin that matches your style most. To conclude, I think that the theme of this video is noticeable. With the exception of software and absolutely everything else, the Galaxy S10 Plus is almost what I would call a far better phone than the S9 Plus. We've got a better display, better specifications, a more versatile camera, and all packaged in a slightly more compact device. Usually I've spent these comparisons telling you that it might not be worth it to upgrade, but that's not the case here. The Galaxy S10 Plus doesn't feel like an iteration. Samsung has really raised the bar with this phone in things that compel me to tell you that it might be time for you to sell your old phone and give this new one a try. Let us know what you think about the Galaxy S10 Plus and the Galaxy S9 Plus. Which one would you pick in the comments down below? And while you're at it, make sure you follow us on social media and subscribe to both our channels, English and Spanish, for more videos like this one. You can follow me on Twitter, Jaime_Rivera, on Instagram at Jaime Rivera. Please give this video a thumbs up if you like what you saw. I'm Jaime Rivera. Thanks so much for watching. We'll see you on the next one.